What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day. Hey, I live in the Midwest and it is starting to get cold outside, which means that the air is also starting to get drier, which really necessitates the use of a humidifier in the bedroom, even the office when I'm spending a lot of time at home. This thing has just been fantastic. I mean, personally, I get that dry, scratchy throat. I get the sinuses getting it doesn't feel great. So as soon as I start to see that temperature drop, I get my humidifier out and I make sure I got this thing set up so that I can sleep through the night a little bit more comfortably. Now, there's a lot of humidifiers out there. What is great about the Welov Smart Humidifier? First off, this thing is massive. I mean, you can see it's a pretty good size, which is great if you like to run this thing for hours and hours without even touching it. It's 6 liters and it should be able to provide up to 90 hours of runtime. Now, I haven't personally tried it out for 90 straight hours, but I mean, just look at it. This whole thing right here, it's this top portion right below, right above the seam here. That's all water in there, okay? Now, another thing that I thought was really cool is this nozzle right here. I haven't seen one of these, but this thing can rotate. So if you want to just kind of change directions, maybe you've got like a plug over here, there's like some electronics you don't want it to be anywhere near, you can actually have a little bit more control in where the mist goes. It's pretty cool, and I haven't seen that in a lot of other models. So next question, why do they call it a smart humidifier? It seems like everything is smart these days. What's smart about this? Well, it does actually have a really good humidity gauge built into the machine. That way, if you want to set it at a certain humidity level, they say anywhere between 45 and 55 is usually where you want it. This thing right here, you give this button a little press, and it starts blinking. You can actually set right here. Let's say you only want it to be 50% humidity. You go ahead and set it just like that. It's going to do its thing for a moment. And now we're going to tell the machine we only want this to be at 50% humidity. Now, just to show you that it does work, I mean, we had this thing on just a moment ago, and now I set it to 50%. Right now, it's reading it at 56% in the room. So you'll see, okay, it's green. We're good. It's humid enough. You'll notice the mist is not coming out because the machine has already noticed, all right, we're at, we're above where we need to be. So now it's actually going to stay there. If the humidity level drops below 50, this thing will kick back on. That way you don't need to worry about it. There's also an app that you can do this with from your phone. I personally haven't bothered with that. I just turn it on when I come in there. I guess I'm not quite as tech savvy as some, but just using the manual controls has been fine for me. So that's really where the smart humidifier thing is coming from, is that it's got a really good detector in terms of how humid is it already in the air, how humid do you want it to be. So now let's say you want to go more the route that I go, you just want to do it manually. Let's just hit that button again. That little light goes away. And then right now, there's no little lights underneath it. It's not kicking anything out. So I'm going to go ahead and hit this button here. Boom. We're going to put it on the first setting. It goes all the way up to 5 settings. So depending on how humid you want it to be, it's very responsive. You see immediately it starts kicking out more humidity. This thing also has what they call a boost feature. So if it's like, I don't know, somehow it's just super dry in your room, you want to come in and be like, yo, give me a little extra. Boom. Thing looks like a darn fog machine. Now, the other cool thing about this, let's say you are not using it. I want to just turn it off. Well, we don't want dust getting in there. We don't want who knows what else getting in there. Maybe you got kids that are very, they like to explore and touch things they're not supposed to. Boop, just push that down. Now it's gone, goes away. Obviously, you want to pay attention. You don't want to kick this thing on and then this is closed and all that steam's building up in there, all that mist. So just open that back up and we're good to go. Now, other nifty little things. Right down here, it does have a night light. Put it into this mode. You can also press the little moon thingy right here, and it's going to turn everything off. Or if you want to just keep that night light on, there we go. That's just about it. I mean, right here, they do also have this timer feature, so we can turn the timer on. And then we're going to go ahead over here, see maybe we only want it to run like 1 hour or something like that. We can go to 2 hours, do whatever you want with it. And when you're all completely done with it, again, just turn it off just like that. There you go. Now, it does detach from the top right up here. I'm going to cut to a different clip here. It's nice having this heavy-duty handle because when this thing is full, I mean, 6 liters it's a good amount of water. It's not going to be the lightest thing in the world, but I'll show you at the top here. You can just kind of really get your hand in there, just lift it up really confidently. Take it over to the sink. You can refill it, empty it, do whatever you got to do. One thing I would say, they're very careful. I mean, pretty much any humidifier is going to tell you this. You don't want to leave water in there for too long if you're not actively using it. So a lot of times I don't even fill this whole thing up. I'll usually just go maybe like, a third or a half of it, something like that. And because you don't want mildew building up, especially in places where there might be a little bit harder water supply. You don't want that just getting in here and kind of gunking everything up. So I usually only use enough water for maybe several hours at a time. That's just me personally. But all in all, it's a nifty little device. Looks good. I do actually like that nightlight function. I usually have that on even when it's not nighttime. And again, just the fact that you can open and close the mist nozzle right here, and you can kind of spin it around and get whatever direction you want. It's a little bit more unique. Now, Welov does have pretty good products. I got one of their vacuum cleaners as well. They do make pretty good stuff here. So I've been using it for a couple weeks now. We have one that we use in the bedroom, and then we have one that I use in my office just to make sure. I really like it when I hate when it's dry. So I like to keep one of these things closed at all times. So those are my thoughts on this. Hope you guys found that helpful. Keep all this feeling good, especially in the cooler, drier weather. And you guys stay safe out there, all right? Take it easy.